Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. It is round 12 of the FIDE Candidates 2026. Javokhir Sindarov has won it, ladies and gentlemen. He really, if he hasn't won it today officially mathematically, he cannot be caught. There are 2 rounds to go, 4 more draws today. I think he leads by 2 points, so mathematically I think he can still be caught if he loses the last 2 rounds and Anish Giri wins them both. That is not going to happen. It may only be confirmed on Tuesday. Javokhir Sindarov will challenge, as we have known for the last 10 days, Javokhir Sindarov will challenge Gukesh Damaraju for the 2026-2027 FIDE World Championship. That is all but confirmed. Women's section, though, far more entertaining. 3 decisive results, really shaking up the standings, and we're going to get into them right now. First game, Vaishali Rameshbabu versus Zhu Jiner. Obviously, Vaishali leading, so she's looking to consolidate her lead. Zhu plays a Caruana. She goes into the Caruana. We get Bishop D3, which is interesting because, if you told me, oh, a Grandmaster's going to face this, what do you think they're going to play? I would probably say Knight F3, the short variation, or Tull, maybe. Bishop D3 is so solid. So we get the trade of bishops, but look at this interesting opening idea. Vaishali takes with the pawn. She does not play Queen D3, which is Queen D3 is the move played in 96% of games. In 4% of games, only is this played. The only top game I've got is a 2500 versus a 2300. Runik Sidwani when he was 2300. So we get this interesting line as the players begin to develop. You can see they kind of knew what they're doing. Zhu Jiner here thinks for a little bit. It's a balanced position. I think what this means is you've got double d-pawns. So you can take and play d4 again. So that idea exists. So you see takes, queen comes out. And now short castles, rook c2, and we swing the queen around. Vaishali playing this in a very interesting manner, and oh my word. So you'll notice black can't castle. We move both rooks. Zhu Jiner just doesn't care. She's like, what are you doing? She has got a brilliant position. The engine slightly favors white. He takes, rook takes. I love this position for black. If you can keep your king safe, what has Vaishali done here with this coordination of pieces? I like the black position. I think maybe the rook is slightly misplaced, and what do you do with this bishop? But you could go here, and then the bishop comes out. You've got pressure here, pressure here, pressure here. The white position is this close from falling apart. But d4 is played, and this is the move we wanted. Bishop e7, bishop e3, c4. Takes. Wrong move. The only move here for Vaishali to be better is, and good luck finding this, Queen h2. Queen h2. That's how you're better. And then a5 from black to just continue to fight on the side of the board. Queen h2. That's what you just got to play to be better. Nope, not playable. B takes c4. Pawn takes, and now knight e2. Knight b4. Rook slides over to b2. Queen c6. Rook fb1. Slide inaccuracy. I can play rook b5. You can play d5. I can play knight takes d5. I hit your queen. Queen slides over. I slide my queen back to b7. And Zhu Jiner just takes over this game. And he's now minus 1.2. Just a couple of moves. I told you the white position was this close from falling apart. Yes, you get... Oh, knight f8. Looks like the only move. I think is bishop f8. Yeah, bishop f8 is preferred. Because the knight's putting pressure here and it can come this way. The bishop can just chill. It's fine. And then you can play king here, and then you can put your bishop on this diagonal. Like I told you, the white position is so close from falling apart. So you get the knight to go backwards. We, kick out one of the rooks. Knight c1 loses. It's already a difficult position here because this pawn is moving forward. The rook still sees this, and there's that hidden threat all the time of discovered opportunities. The knight is the only one that's not doing much. The bishop is guarding this pawn and, fighting on this diagonal. So knight c1 loses. h3. Oh, you can take the pawn. Check. Oh, king slides over. Because you can't take this, obviously, it's protected. And you don't want to go here. You don't want to go with king g1. This is the one time you do not want to go king g1. Because you probably lose after something like knight f4. I don't even know if that's the best move. Is knight f4 the best move? Knight to f4, is that the best move? In this position of king g1? Just waiting for the engine. It's loving this position. It's just calculating which is the best move. I'm pretty sure. Oh, the website's frozen. That is unfortunate. Oh, hang on. Yeah, knight f4 is the best move, just by the way. Knight f4 is the best move. So, absolutely crushing position this for black. So, for that reason, we have king h2, which still tries to hang on. We promote with check, and promote with check, so the knight goes backwards, and knight here, which sacrifices the knight, but there's mate, and it's like unstoppable, because what do? You come back? I take. What do you do? There's like no way to avoid mate. So Zhu Jiner takes down Vaishali Rameshbabu. We'll look at the overall standings towards the end. Divya Deshmukh, who led for a little bit, she plays Zhongyi, who's had a really rough tournament. And look at this. We have knight f3, knight c6, and the move played in 331 games out of 250,000, like 0 point something percent, g3. Black is better. Just by the way, according to the engine. Yeah, the engine hates this for white, but we go for this interesting setup from Divya Deshmukh, who's obviously playing for something. She's obviously prepared this idea where we have a bunch of trades. Like, black has taken a lot of space, and you are fighting with a whole bunch of pawns on light squares and a light squared bishop. That's like, what have you done to my life? I can't get out. So knight comes out to e2, kicks out the queen, king to h2. Like, I do play these positions, particularly like close Sicilian. Like, you can generate some really cool play down the king side, and you can be very dynamic. It's not lost for white, but it's a very interesting system to play, at the candidates. And now we get this move d4. Like, Divya achieving all her pawn breaks and now really fighting back against the black position. You're trying to liberate the light squared bishop. But c5. Like, what do you do? Oh, now you've locked everything. You have locked your structure with all these light squared pawns. And you've got a light squared bishop. What does your light squared bishop do? What does your light squared bishop do? Oh, takes. Knight takes. Look at this. We've got open lines now. Now I've got some play. Very bold decision from Tan to take. But she immediately puts her rook on e5. Oh, and it gets kicked out. Okay, fine. Rook e7. This is a problem for you. That is a problem for you. You play rook f4. Well, I can put my knight back to f8. Now, there's a temptation here to put your knight here. But this trade might actually, be okay for white because you get quick play. And this is well defended, like with the bishop. Like, it's actually doing a really good defensive job, despite me complaining about it. So knight f8 is what is played. Rook df1. Now knight to g6 kicks the rook back to f2. And now we play rook f8. Probably not needed. You probably could do something else, but it's fine. Queen c1. Now queen d8. a3. A little bit of jostling on the queen side. Now it's locked. Divya makes the decision to lock it. She's 12 minutes versus 44. All of the important play, is going to be on these e to h files. Nothing else is going to matter unless you sacrifice against the structure. Unless white tries to sacrifice a knight and get play, there ain't nothing happening. This is all locked. Like, A through D is locked. The only thing that might happen is maybe on the D file if you can achieve e5. Black might consider f6 or even f5 if they can achieve it successfully. So we see rook e8. How does white win? Because white has made the commitment to lock the structure. So we get this transformation. We trade off the knights. But again, I like the black bishop because it actually puts pressure on this. The light squared bishop is doing a fantastic defensive job, but that's all it's doing. How do you attack? How do you make progress? We're shuffling, coupling accuracies. Black is now better. Just by putting the pieces here, and I'm just going to run the king this way. It's perfectly safe. Oh, you go for h5. That's fine. Queen g5. What are you going to do? How do you make progress in the white position as I just run my king backwards, and now you've got nothing? I've played f6. You can't push your pawn. What are you going to do? And now this is a weakness and this is a weakness. You've got two weaknesses that you've got to defend. And you can't. King h2. I don't know if it was analyzed, but because black did it so well, where they ran their king, maybe white could have done the same and tried to run their king. Problem is, black can infiltrate far easier. Look, this queen is a beast, and you can't kick it out. unless you sacrifice a rook, but you're going to lose everything. So, queen d4, Tan successfully infiltrating. She gets her queen into a1. She rotates. It's still going to take her a long time to win this game, but she is better. Rest assured, she is better this whole time. And now look at this, g6. That's how she breaks through. Because she gives up this pawn, but she takes here. And now, the whole house of cards falls down for the white position, and Divya Deshmukh is going down. We trade off rooks, and it is making 14, and she achieves it by g3. Threatening queen g2 mate. You can sacrifice, but it is completely over. Rook coming in, bishop coming in, and she defeats Divya Deshmukh. And now we go to Kateryna Lagno versus Bibisara Assaubayeva. Bibisara, it's hard to say what has been what. These two, obviously, if you look here, we go for c3. Now, you can play the quiet Italian with d3, but Bibisara plays this far more aggressively with the center attack variation. Very aggressive. There's this check and knight bd2, and I always just think you're losing this pawn. Like, that's the thing. I always think you just lose this pawn, but apparently you can play like d5, and then you have to play like knight e7, and short castles apparently is fine. You can just give up the pawn. You live and you learn, but I just always thought, it was bad. Black goes for d5, doesn't even try to take it, so we get takes, knight takes, short castles. Now we look to kick back the dark squared bishop and play rook to e1. The players obviously know this position quite well. We get bishop to g4. I ask it what it's doing there. It decides to hang around on h5, and bishop a2. Looks silly. This looks really silly. I promise you it does. But the idea is to keep it on the active diagonal, either on this one, or to even play bishop b1 and to work on this diagonal. I promise you this is the thing. Go look at Garry Kasparov versus Anatoly Karpov, the game that made him champion, where he had two bishops here that were just monsters. It was like a Roy Lopez, but the Roy Lopez and the Italian, very similar indeed. So we have knight b6, which is interesting, getting out of the center. You're fine here, and also putting both knights on the queen side. Typically, these knights want to sit here, so now they're on a different side of the board. We have g4, which puts the bishop back to g6. This is very loose for the moment, so you've got to find a way to defend it. You can't really, so we play knight f1. Now bishop d6, bishop to g5, queen d7, and now look at this, knight e5. Just a great move. This move is really cool. Because, you're not threatening much, but you're just activating your knight. And how you take is important. We get bishop takes e5, pawn takes e5. The queens see each other. We throw in the move h6. But I can drop back to h4. Oh, you want to play queen d4. I can bring my knight out. And you can take a pawn. f4. I'm about to put your bishop in prison. My king looks weak. It is not. I promise you it is not. So the bishop comes out to c2. I play queen c1. Queen c3. Rook e3. Now queen pins the rook. Bishop f2. You can go here. You're desperately trying to defend your bishop. f5. And although the engine doesn't like the white position, practically speaking, after this transformation, if the white king can stay safe, white's got a great position. If it can't, black wins. If the white king can remain safe, white's got a great position and can push and create chances. But that relies on keeping the king safe. Rook to c1, and now queen takes. Very bold decision, because the queen has abandoned all the forces that are tied together with their shoelaces. You are now splitting up the pawn structure, so you can threaten both of these and the knight and the rook. But there's bishop b5, and now your queen might be in jail. And queen takes c7 loses for Bibisara Assaubayeva. Knight d4, which looks like a nothing move. You're like, oh, my queen can get out. Get out for where? Get out to where? This knight is coming in. The bishop is coming in. The queen is coming in. You have problems. Because rook ce1, oops. You just walked into a fork. So, rook e4 is the idea to get out, but queen b3. This rook is still hanging, and what are you going to do? Oh, you attack the knight? Rook d2. e6. takes. Queen comes back, and you might say, wait, hang on, why don't you play like knight takes? Like rook takes? Well, I think queen b2 just is the cleanest winning move. How do you defend the rook? And you might say, wait, but like the rook can move. The rook can move. I can play, the rook can't go anywhere. It dies on every square. It can't even be defended. So you would sacrifice it, most likely. Rook takes e2, and then you just get mowed down on the second rank. You just lose. Queen takes a7, the only idea, because you take and you defend. There's like rook c1 check, king g2, bishop c6. You just get mated. You get destroyed. So, queen f4 for that reason. Rook fd8 gives the advantage all back, but it doesn't matter. Takes. Now white has something, and rook d1 and white's winning. Kateryna Lagno, I'm sure this was time pressure. I'm sure. Like back-to-back blunders / mistakes. Just takes. Yes, you get all of this, but check. And even that is not the best move because now it's a draw. I'm not actually sure what the best move here is. Let me check the engine. This is the most natural move. Apparently, e7. Even stronger. e7 even stronger. Because it requires like queen f7 to do something. And now you play the incredible knight to f3. Because if you take the queen, which looks free, I play rook takes f4. My rook is unpinned. And I'm now threatening promotion and so on and so forth. And so you would get probably... What does it want here? Knight takes a3. And now rook f8, h7, and now... I mean, it says rook c8, but you could probably just push. And this is completely winning because I'm up. So queen f7 is not the best move. It's now a draw. Check, but the king goes back. And you have e7 again, and this time it is found. And so the winning idea comes to fruition, and Bibisara just wins. Another mistake from black. The king, white king, gets hunted. The risk in the end paid off for Bibisara Assaubayeva as she wins. And ultimately, by hook or by crook, she wins the game. Now, if I check the standings, obviously, open standings haven't changed in 2 rounds. 8 draws in the last 2 rounds. Absolutely ridiculous in terms of the level of play. Not all the draws boring, but in terms of the standings, not much has changed. So, Javokhir Sindarov will be challenging Gukesh Domaraju, as we discussed earlier. Absolutely incredible performance from him. I'm just looking for the standings for the women's section. Vaishali still leads, but she's tied for the lead now with Zhu Jiner, who obviously defeated her today. That is what I said yesterday could happen. Bibisara, Anna Musachuk, Bibisara and Anna Musachuk are half a point behind each on 6.5. Then a point behind them is Kateryna Lagno and Alexandra Goryachka. And then Divya Deshmukh, now 7th. And she is tied on 5 points with Tan Zhongyi. So, very, very interesting. I mean, if you consider that the difference between first and second in the open section is 2 points, the difference between first and last in the women's section is 2 points. Absolutely ridiculous. But that is how everything shakes up after 12 rounds of the FIDE Candidates 2026.